SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. We're previewing Week 8 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking right now with Tony George from TonyGeorgeSports.com, LockerRoomPicks.com, and of course his radio show Sunday mornings on the Yahoo Sports Network. And I really appreciate it because this week Tony George did not get his first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth choice, or any of those choices in games to cover. He's taking two tough ones, and right now he's going to cover Dallas and Detroit with us. Tony, thanks for being back with us.
Well, here we are talking about the Lions again, Peter.
Yeah. Man, you know, Tony George, that was the pick that you gave us last week. I loved it myself. I was on it.
This one stung, and it's one that got away, and you definitely had the right side in the game. You just had the wrong result.
Yeah, I'm sure in most of the parallel universes, Detroit did cover that game. But then again, probably in a bunch of those parallel universes, some of our other sides probably didn't cover. So, you take the good with the bad. Try to make good picks every week. All right now we're going to discuss Dallas, Detroit. I'll tell you right off the bat, this is going to be a pass for me. I'm not going to bet it unless you can tell me something that's going to blow my mind here. Detroit's a 3-point home favorite. Totals 50.5 or 51. Detroit, of course, is off that close loss to Cincy. Dallas is off the Philly game. Their D played great, but they had a lot of problems on offense. Pass for me. What would you take if you had to bet this game, Tony George?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not quite as scared of this one as you seem to think. There's not a lot of value. I do think there's some value in here, and I'm going to go ahead and stick my cojones on the chopping block again here, but I like Detroit. You take a look at Dallas in this game, you kind of look at their schedule. They had a huge game against Denver that they lost. Then they had a huge game on Monday night or Sunday night, whatever it was, against Washington in a divisional game. Then last week they had another huge divisional game on the road. Now they're coming back on the road again. And if you want to talk about big games, this is Detroit's. This is it for Detroit. Mm-hmm. This is a must-win for them. You start looking at, the wild cards in the NFC. You've already got Seattle and San Fran in, assuming Green Bay is probably going to win the division. Then you got three teams here in a dogfight. That's the Lions, the Bears, and even Carolina's sneaking in there. So, this is a must-win for these guys here, and I have an equal power rating on these two teams of 82. Mm-hmm. And then you give 3 points to the home team, and I don't think Dallas has an answer for Megatron, and I don't think Detroit probably has an answer for Des Bryant. But, Dallas beat a bad team last week, didn't look good doing it, and they were on their third-string quarterback in order for Dallas to win that game. Ware's questionable. Murray's probably not going to play, so your best pass rusher and your best running back's out. You're on the road back-to-back weeks. I think this is a do-or-die game for Detroit. This is a huge, huge game for Detroit.
Right.
And I just don't see them dropping the ball with the opportunity. And I really do think that Detroit's defensive line is going to give Dallas some trouble here. Dallas is going to win their division, Peter. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there's nobody in that NFC East out there that's going to challenge them. I mean, there's just nobody good enough. So this is a game they can afford to lose. That they're not just going to throw the towel in. They can afford to lose one here. But 4 big games in a row, this being the 4th one for them. Detroit in a must-win situation. I like their offense here against Dallas's defense. And I just think facing Stafford is a little bit different than facing Foles and Matt Barkley. And, I really think that if Detroit can shore up their secondary here a little bit, play a little better than they did last week, they get away with a touchdown win here.
Sure, I hear what you're saying. I kind of agree with everything you're saying. It's just the things that make me very nervous about taking Detroit here. First of all, their offensive line is very banged up, right? Second of all, Stafford, he was good at times, very good last week, but, he did leave a lot of points on the field. He kind of overthrew guys, made a few bad passes, and probably most importantly, the pass defense for Detroit was terrible. They didn't get much pressure. The secondary got burned repeatedly, and Andy Dalton carved them up. And, if that happens again, Tony Romo is more than capable of carving them up. So you add all that together, and Detroit's giving them 3 points. It just, it's a pass for me.
Well, sometimes you got to look at public perception.
Right.
And the public perception, a lot of it is exactly what you just stated. On Detroit's side of the ball, they're begging you to take Dallas here. Dallas is a huge public favorite. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I think Detroit's the only way to look in this game. That's the way odds makers are setting it up. Take the points in the public darling in Dallas, and you're going to get an easy win. Detroit can't get it done. Strong home field for Detroit. They're at home and a must win. I'm laying the 3.
All right, Tony George from TonyGeorgeSports.com has made his case for a Detroit -3 over Dallas. Thanks, Tony. Talk to you again next week.